Hey y'all, it's Callie and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very exciting video. I'm doing my bookshelf tour. A couple people asked me for this and I kind of wanted to just do it anyways. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The books like this that are like laying down, like I'll tell you the titles, but I probably won't like bring them out, face them outwards. Gonna try this. The top shelf of this bookshelf will probably be the hardest to film because like I have to lift up the tripod, even though it can get a little bit higher than it is now. Like I still have to lift it a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna start out with that one, so it'll probably start out a little rough, but it's going to improve as it goes, hopefully. Super excited to show you guys. And I'll probably also explain the things that I just like have on my bookshelf other than books. So yeah, let's get started. This top shelf is just some of my favorite contemporary paperbacks, all of my John Green books, and then just two other. They're part of a series and there was just enough space for them and it was kind of an awkward little space, so I put those there. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Call Me By Your Name by Andre Eastman. The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Until the Last Star Fades by Jacqueline Middleton. From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Audrey Waite by Robin Benway. The Anatomical Shape of a Heart by Jen Bennett. On this shelf I just have this, like, it's just like a jar and it's got some ribbon and somebody painted it. I got this at a church camp like 3 years ago. We did kind of like a little Secret Santa, even though it was like the summer. It was really cute and that's what I got. And then on top of my John Green books, I've got this little, it came with one of the rings that I wear a lot, and since it was a book, I just felt like I had to have it on my bookshelf. This stack is all of my John Green books. There is Paper Towns, The Fault in Our Stars, Let It Snow with Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle, An Abundance of Catherines, Looking for Alaska, Will Grayson with David Levithan, and Turtles All the Way Down. Forgetting August and Remembering Everly, both by J.L. Burke. This shelf is some of my contemporary series and then my hardcover contemporary books. Bookishly Ever After by Isabel Bandiera. Dramatically Ever After, also by Isabel Bandiera. The Chloe by Design series, Making the Cut, Balancing Act, and Measuring Up, all by Margaret Gurevich, illustrated by Brooke Hagel. Next I have the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series by Jenny Han. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Laura Jean. On top of that, I've got this like Starbucks cup from a really long time ago. I think it was like a Valentine's Day cup. And I've just got some random pencils in it, and also my bookmark from when I met Adi El-Said in like 8th grade. Yeah, he signed that because I was in 8th grade, so I didn't have enough money to buy his book. I feel really terrible about that now. And then I've also got this little cup that says Herbert's Lemonade, and then it's got some fake flowers, and these are actually like unused gum wrappers. Like I would unwrap the gum and then just like fold up the wrappers. And I mean, it's kind of an aesthetic, like it's cool. I did it a really long time ago and I just haven't done anything with it. I got the cup at the World of Coke. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and this one is signed. I love their signatures, it's adorable. This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Elier Stans. Bright Young Things by Anna Godberson. Then I have this candle top, which I actually just put on this magnet I got from Owlcrate, and it is a quote from the Night Circus that says, "We lead strange lives chasing our dreams around from place to place." It's really cute. And like 2 weeks after I got this, I read The Night Circus and loved it. Next, I have the Alex and Eliza series by Melissa de la Cruz, which is Alex and Eliza and Love and War. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith, which is actually personally signed to me because I met her at the same place I met IDL Sade in 8th grade, and now that her books are really popular, it's really cool to kind of be like, oh my gosh, I totally met her a long time ago. Dear Evan Hansen, the novel by Val Emick with Stephen Levinson, Benj Pasek, and Justin Paul. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, which is signed by Rainbow. I found this at like a secondhand bookstore, and I didn't think I loved Eleanor and Park enough to buy a copy, but when I saw it was signed, I couldn't resist. This shelf is paperback contemporaries that I didn't really love, all of my Sarah Dessen books, and a bunch of unread contemporaries. These are all in paperback editions. The List by Subon Vivian. 2 Summers by Amy Friedman. Smart Girls Get What They Want by Sarah Strohmeyer. Just Like the Movies by Kelly Fior. Tales from My Closet by Jennifer Ann Moses. Bounce by Natasha Friend. 16th Summer Series by Michelle Dalton. Pulled Under and Swept Away. Backlash and In Case You Missed It by Sarah Darer Littman. Then moving on, all of my Sarah Dessen books. The Moon and More, Just Listen, Someone Like You, The Truth About Forever, Lock and Key, What Happened to Goodbye, Along for the Ride, and Saint Anything. Getting to unread paperback contemporaries, on Saturday my TBR pile-up tag should be going up, so look out for that. Girls on Film by Zoe Dean, Waiting for You by Susan Colasanti, Shrimp by Rachel Cohn. The Nature of Jade by Deb Coletti. Teen Idol by Meg Cabot. Right of Way and One Moment in Time by Lauren Barnholt. What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. At First Sight, The Best of Me, and True Believer, all by Nicholas Sparks. You Are Here by Jennifer E. Smith. Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas by James Patterson. The Fixes by Owen Matthews. My Most Excellent Year by Steve Kluger. This shelf is just like some oldies but goodies, some old series I loved, or like in the case of The Maze Runner and The Barcode Prophecy, some that I read recently that just didn't really hit the mark for me. Most of the Selection series by Kiera Cass. The Selection, The Elite, The Heir, The Crown, and Happily Ever After. The Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. The Maze Runner trilogy by James Dashner. 2 copies of The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure. 2 of the City of Ember books, The City of Ember and The Prophet of Yon Wood. The Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. The Mark of Athena, which is book 3 in the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick all of that and the Percy Jackson are by Rick Riordan. The Divergent series by Veronica Roth. Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, and the Novella 4. The Barcode Prophecy by Suzanne Wein. This shelf is just incomplete series, standalones, or books that are, as of now, just standalones, and my Harry Potter collection. The Diviners and Lair of Dreams, both by Libba Bray. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. The Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Red Queen, Cruel Crown, Glass Sword, and King's Cage. Amber and Dusk by Lyra Celine. Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Ducolt. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chosky, which is signed because it was the Owlcrate book for January, as well as Amber and Dusk, which was December's book, and Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. To this side, I've got my Scholastic Harry Potter box set, which is very cute, and I've got a time turner and these bookmarks that are just magnetic bookmarks I got at Target. There are 3 sets and I got all 3 and traded and mixed them for me and some friends for Christmas presents. I've got this Harry Potter like Hogwarts pin that we got at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter a few years ago. And then this cute little Lego of Newt Scamander with one of the little Nifflers. And then I also have my mom's copy of the hardback of the Sorcerer's Stone because at some point soon I would like to reread the series. So as I am reading them, I will have the next one to read on my shelf. This bottom shelf is just for some classics that I found in my house that I would like to read, or also just other random books that I would like to read at some point, but not necessarily like urgently. I've got a mix of like some middle grade and just classics and things that I think would be beneficial to read. For these, I'm not going to face them outwards just because they're not really part of my collection and they're just kind of extra space fillers almost at the time until I can finish them. So I have the Anne of Green Gables series, and as I'm reading them or finishing them, I'm removing them. So I have Anne of the Island, Anne of the Windy Poplars, Anne's House of Dreams, Anne of Ingleside, Rainbow Valley, and Rilla of Inglesby, all by Ella Montgomery. This next section I have A Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, 1984 by George Orwell, The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, Cry the Beloved Country by Alan Paton, Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, The Little House series by Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House in the Big Woods, Little House on the Prairie, Farmer Boy, On the Banks of Plum Creek, By the Shores of Silver Lake, The Long Winter, Little Town on the Prairie, These Happy Years, The First 4 Years. And lastly, just some middle grade, Matilda by Roald Dahl, The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney, Miss Frisbee and the Rats of Nim by O'Brien, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This is probably one of my favorite shelves. It is my Shadowhunter shelf. I love it. I love the Shadowhunter series, so of course this has to be one of my favorite shelves. First, on top I have the dust jacket from my Clockwork Princess because I am currently reading it. First, I have this beautiful set of the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. Next, I have Clockwork Prince. The box set is actually my mom's, so she bought this for me when we saw it on sale one day. Next, I have 2 of the exact same copy of City of Bones, because I don't really have a reasoning. I was given one and I already had one, but I love the series so much that I decided to just keep it. Unless I find one of my friends who hasn't read it yet or something along those lines, I will probably gift it to them that way. Next, I have City of Ashes and City of Glass. Next, I have City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. And then I have City of Heavenly Fire and The Bane Chronicles. The Bane Chronicles has Sarah Reese Brennan and Maureen Johnson as the authors as well. Then lastly, I've got my 3 TBR jars, my contemporary TBR jar, my fantasy and sci-fi kind of TBR jar, and series I want to finish TBR jar. Over here, I just have my unread Shadowhunters books. So I have Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, which is by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. And then I have Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. All of these books are by Cassandra Clare, obviously. My mom is reading my copy of Lady Midnight right now, so that's why it's not there. Lastly, I have the official Mortal Instruments coloring book. I got this on Book Outlet for like $4, and it is stunning. This is my Sarah J. Maas and other various favorites or expected favorites shelf. So yeah, the only thing I have on here is I have my 4 ACOTAR bookmarks kind of stacked all together. I have the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and A Court of Frost and Starlight. Next, I have the Six of Crows duology, which is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, both by Leigh Bardugo. Next, I have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Then I have This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet, both by Victoria Schwab. I have the first half of the Throne of Glass series, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, The Assassin's Blade, and Heir of Fire, all by Sarah J. Maas. Then I have the last half of the series, which is Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and Tower of Dawn. This shelf is Laini Taylor and a bunch of yet uncompleted series that I really only have the first book in this series. They're also series that I haven't even started yet. First, I have the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, which is The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. Next, I have the Strange the Dreamer duology, which is Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares, both by Laini Taylor. On this side of the shelf, all I have is my Lunar Queen candle, which I got in December's Owl Crate. The Lux by Anna Godberson. Matched by Ali Condi. Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Three Dark Crowns and Queens of Fenburn by Kendar Blake. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. 3 books in the Lunar Chronicles. Cinder, Scarlet, and Ferris. This shelf is just some of the contemporaries that I didn't have space for anywhere else, some miscellaneous objects, and then some historical fictions and nonfiction books on the other side. If the Witness Lied by Caroline B. Cooney, Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks, Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks, and Me Before You by Jojo Moy. And then these are just some mass market paperbacks I had. So A Bend in the Road by Nicholas Sparks, Chasing Brooklyn by Lisa Schroeder, and Scribbler of Dreams by Mary E. Pearson. Over here I just have my Polaroid, this little light up pineapple that I got at Dave & Buster's. I have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, Makeup by Michelle Phan, Oscar Style, 75 Years of Glamour, Glitter, and Glory by People magazine, Beauty Rules by Bobbi Brown, 17 Ultimate Guide to Style, which is really old, and then just my camera instruction manual, which has been actually surprisingly helpful. This last shelf is just a bunch of random old school things, a bunch of teen vogues, some art supplies, more school supplies, just some miscellaneous coloring books and such, some Smash book things and such, just a bunch of random little books that I don't really use, and some school stuff that I wanted to save. Whew, that was a lot. And it's going to be a lot of editing, but it'll be so worthwhile and so satisfying to have it up. I had time to eat lunch in the middle of that, and I listened to some audiobook in between shelves. So it was productive, it was fun. If you enjoyed, leave some suggestions for other videos you would like to see in the comment section below. I will see you guys on Saturday. If you enjoyed this, comment, like, subscribe, the deal, you know. Bye.